Just looked at each other and said, man, that was a missed opportunity. These people saying, I want to kill you, I want to kill your family. The guy just leaps out of the bushes, and I see he's got a knife in one hand and something in his other hand. What the heck is that?
All right, so we're here at Secret Knock with the amazing Carole Baskin, and James is about to ask you some amazing questions about your journey and what you've done. So let's hear it.
You start off just being a person who was just like, yeah, I really care about these animals. Tiger King comes out. Your name is, unfortunately, you're infamous, unfortunately. What happens after that?
Yeah, so, we had worked with these producers for 5 years on what they said was going to be blackfish for big cats. And blackfish is what brought down SeaWorld and what made people say, I'm not going to pay to see an orca in a swimming pool. So we thought this was going to make people say, I'm not going to pay to see a tiger in a cage. And when the trailer came out for Tiger King, we saw that. We contacted all of the different filmmakers because we had a lot of projects going on. And we said, who's working on that show? Why would anybody do something that looks like a fluff piece for Joe Exotic? And they didn't want to talk about it. And so my husband and I sat there and we binge watched it just like everybody else because we were like, what the heck is that?
This is not what I signed up for. No.
I couldn't believe what I saw. And so at the end of it, we just looked at each other and said, man, that was a missed opportunity. And then my phone started ringing and it was people saying, I want to kill you, I want to kill your family, I want to kill the cats. And by this time I'm like, why do you want to kill the cats? And they said, because they don't belong in cages. And I thought, how can somebody watch 7 episodes of that and not know that I'm trying to stop the practice of breeding cats for life in cages? But they didn't. They came away thinking that I was some kind of gold-digging, home-wrecking murderer. And I couldn't believe that that was the takeaway. And so I watched it again and again, and I was like, when they set up this scene, like, they'd be talking about one thing and you'd be seeing something else, and you'd be like, I could see why people would be manipulated by that.
Yes.
But it was shocking to me how many people fell for it.
And this whole piece is like, you're building Joe as a protagonist, and every hero needs a villain, no matter how sweet and how virtuous and how honest they actually are. And then when you tie in all of the other rumors that I'm sure we can talk about what happened in Tiger King 2, it's like, holy frig, you're not the villain.
No.
You're trying to do something to help the world, and something that a lot of people, as we can see, really have a lot of emotion and a lot of passion behind as well. So what happens when the second series comes out and
nobody watches it and nobody knows that they actually produced a document from Homeland Security saying my husband was alive and well in Costa Rica 5 years at least after I saw him last. I don't know if people didn't watch it or if people watched it and they didn't want to admit that they watched it because they had been so hateful for the year leading up to it. It had been all on the Carole's a killer train, and now it's like, I'm not going to talk about this anymore because now I look like an idiot.
Right.
So I don't really know which is the case with that.
Well, I hope people, through this and just through everywhere can just understand, like, look, this is your side of the story, and this is what your platform is. This is what you're about. You're helping out cats and raising awareness. Tigers shouldn't be raised for foolishness.
I think as long as people can pay their $20 and see a tiger in a cage, they're never going to do the really hard work of saving them in the wild. Because that's going to be expensive and hard. It's going to require a lot of political capital to be able to do that across boundaries. And it's so much easier for somebody to just go to the zoo and think that their money somehow saved the animals when it's causing their extinction, not helping them.
We all had to go through COVID in our different ways. And you can give me as little or as much as you want. Now, I thought Florida was like, no matter what, you can stay open, you're a park, you're helping out the people. What were the difficulties that you faced through COVID? And what are your plans moving forward?
COVID and Tiger King happened 5 days apart. Yeah, so on March the 15th, that was when they said, shut everything down, we shut down the park. And then Tiger King came out 5 days later because everybody's trapped in their home and now they've all watched this thing.
Right.
And all of these crazy people are like piling up outside our gates wanting to burn the place to the ground. So for 2 reasons we didn't want to be open. One was we did not want our people to catch COVID.
Right.
And the other was we didn't know who might be somebody that would be coming in there to poison one of the cats or to kill somebody or kill me.
Let's kill the cats. Because I want to save the cats. Good logic.
I don't understand why people would say that they're better off dead than in our homes that we get them. And maybe it's because of what was portrayed in Tiger King, which was, if you watch it, and it took me a while to figure this out, because our cages are like hundreds of times bigger than most other places. But they only showed them in their little feeding lockouts. And so people thought I was keeping cats in these little boxes.
Oh my gosh.
And so no wonder they're so angry.
Yeah.
And so that's why we have so many cameras around the property, and we're trying to get people to see, no, look, they've got acres they can run and play here.
You got to give me one of your best of stories. What is either the best or the weirdest or most shocking interaction that you had from one of your newfound fans or anything like that?
Yeah, so I ride this bike trail to and from work. I ride 10 miles every day. As I'm coming through the trail, it's really isolated. It's out in the woods, and this guy just leaps out of the bushes, and I see he's got a knife in one hand and something in his other hand, and I swerve to miss him, and he's just like, I just want to say hello. And then I look over my shoulder, and he's been like peeling an apple or an orange or something.
Oh gosh!
You can imagine my heart rate just. In fact, I wear an Apple Watch, and it was like my heart just went like right off the charts.
That's got to be in the top 3 of all time for sure.
That one, and then I was flying home from someplace into Tampa, and the person in front of me had passed out on the trip, and his girlfriend didn't realize he had passed out until it was time for everybody to get up.
Right.
And she was too shy to say anything, and she couldn't wake this guy up. And I was like, do you want me to yell for a doctor? And she was like, would you? And so I said, is there a doctor on the plane? And everybody goes, is Carole Baskin on the plane?
Oh my gosh! And Carole Baskin has more doctors. Like,
yeah, it took me about an hour and a half to make it from the plane to my car, because so many people came up wanting selfies after that. And it was like, this guy needs help.
you have so many stories. Well, listen, Carole. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. I appreciate this so much. And is there anything that you want to say? Anything that you want to say to all of the viewers here? How they can reach out to you? How they can support your reserve and everything else? Please, what can we do?
Yeah, the biggest thing people could do is go to cubtruth.com.
Okay.
There's 3 videos there. They're really fun videos, kind of. I mean, it's sad what we're talking about, but they're done in a really good way. And then at the end of that, if they would make a call to Congress to support our federal bill, it bans cub petting and it phases out private ownership, which is the first step to saving the tiger in the wild.
Carole, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me in. Talk to you soon, Carole. Thank you.